Hello and welcome everyone. It is time to enter the kumite. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight. Rafael Fiziev delivers, man. And in the most important fight of his career, he came out with a knockout in the 5th round after a long, hard-fought fight. Some people were worried about his cardio. Some were worried about his grappling capabilities. I was one of them, I'm not going to lie. But hell, he proved us all wrong. He showed us that he can maintain that explosiveness into the later rounds and keep a very strong grappler off of him for the duration as well. There were times throughout the fight where Dos Anjos was kind of holding him against the cage with brute strength, but Fiziev did well to pummel under and keep Dos Anjos' hooks out. Dos Anjos had a game plan, and Fiziev just wasn't letting him have it. Fiziev looks strong here. He definitely has a lot of dexterity and stability in his hips, probably coming from his background in Muay Thai. How well is he going to be able to hold off Makhachev, Gamrot, or Ismagulov? That I don't know. Fiziev came out throwing kicks to the body. This is a ballsy move when you're up against someone who's likely the stronger grappler, but he really switches his hips into them to deliver maximum power and speed, and it makes it much harder to read and react to. I feel like he did it to make Dos Anjos worried at range, to make him less likely to want to shoot out in the open. The best chance Dos Anjos had at getting the takedowns on Fiziev was a well-timed takedown out in the open. He was not getting much done up against the cage. He was also throwing them just under the guard of Dos Anjos, catching him right on the bottom of his torso, and once even slicing open Dos Anjos' elbow. This really shows how conditioned his shins are and how powerful his kicks are. This guy is a kickboxer first. And the whole time that he's snapping these kicks into Dos Anjos, he's mixing in these devastating high kicks. He grazed Dos Anjos with a couple of these. Any one of these could have been game over for Dos Anjos. We saw from time to time that Dos Anjos' defense was just a little bit lacking. It was a little bit lazy, and Fiziev is the kind of guy that can make you pay for that. Fiziev lined this knockout up throughout the fight. He tossed his technique out a couple times and downloaded RDA's response. He made the adjustments to set it up. Let's take a look and see what we can find. For the first attempt, he jumped into that flying knee, took note of what RDA's defense looked like. RDA ducks his head, brought his guard down to block the knee. Then Fiziev follows up with the cross, and believe you me, this landed. Also notice how RDA's right side is completely open on his retreat. The second time Fiziev went for it, RDA defended better, but afterward, he was still defenseless on that right side. For the final one, where Fiziev actually got the knockout, he tosses it out there, the flying knee. RDA goes for the block, and Fiziev tosses out that cross, then he rips that left hook across RDA's defenseless right side. That is a 200 IQ play if I ever saw one. RDA looked good though, man. He was just up against that next generation, really. He was throwing out some flashy stuff, putting work to the body, mixing his grappling well, and he caught Fiziev a big few times on the exit of clinch, with those elbows on the exit of clinch, sometimes with his left hand. He even landed a couple of brief takedowns with all of his effort. RDA was landing that long, straight down the center, too, and snapping his head back. RDA is an OG, and he's fought the who's who of lightweight and welterweight. He just wasn't ready for that level of kickboxing and grappling defense, though. All in all, it was a good fight for Fiziev to have. It answered all the questions about his style and his ability to compete at the highest level. All the best to RDA, man. He really is a legend in the sport. He's been here for so long and has put on a hell of a career. I don't think he's done by any means, but he does need to be taking fights with these older guys in the division, if I'm being quite honest. As for Rafael Fiziev, he called out the pro tennis player, Rafael Nadal. He said, we know who the best Rafael is in the UFC now. Now he wants to know who's the best Rafael in sport. First, a Hasbulla call out, now this. He did say he wants to fight one of these guys in the top 5 who kind of keep fighting each other and aren't letting these new guys into the picture. And I agree with him on this. He deserves to fight a Dustin Poirier or a Justin Gaethje. I'd honestly pick him to win either of those matchups. Unfortunately, this fight dropped his takedown defense percentage from 95 to 92%. It's still a great stat, and he held it up very nicely against a phenomenal grappler in RDA. With that, I'll go ahead and wrap things up. If you like the content we're providing, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and you can even follow me personally on Twitter. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.